Hello, welcome to my poll presentation. I am Avile Mawu. So today, I'll be talking a little bit about myself. Alright, so I'll just quickly pop you through the contents. So first, we'll be speaking about my values. Then we'll be speaking about my talents, or what I have deemed interesting. And then we'll be speaking about my SWOT analysis on myself. For most people who don't know, that is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. And then we'll be speaking about my personal progress within my life, inside of Tsiba and outside of Tsiba. Then we'll be discussing how I've paid it forward over the years, as well as my biggest goal. So my values that I have taken through Tsiba: teamwork, assignments, meetings, raising a child, and support. So with teamwork, I've always been someone who said when I started Tsiba, I'm going to do everything on my own, I'm not here to make friends, I just want to graduate. But through doing a lot of group assignments, having hard meetings about FTA discussions, having failed FTA, having skip level meetings at work, I've learned that teamwork is very vital. It's one of the things that helps you mentally, emotionally, and physically get through trying times as well as successful times. They all say it takes a village to raise a child, and they sure are right. And that is actually, the village is actually the teamwork. It comes with a lot of communication, compromising, and just having a different perspective for the greater good, which is the child. Support, like I've said, it helps you mentally, physically, and emotionally in any situation. Teamwork, to me, is very vital. Field independence is another value that I hold dear to my heart. Being an only child, I've always been reliant on my mother. She always coddled me, so there was no need for me to be responsible. But with field independence, I've learned how to be more independent within myself, more confident in myself, that I'm able to do big adult things. I now rent. I was able to find both my jobs on my own with no assistance from either Tsiba or my mother. That was me being independent within myself. My next value is initiative. Initiative is taking lead, ubuntu, for me. So I always found that I used to shy away from being the captain, taking the lead in anything, just basically having the spotlight on me. I later on realized through my journey in Tsiba, there's nothing wrong with taking the lead. There's nothing wrong with seeming like the boss. If it's going to be for the success or the greater good, then so be it. We all know the saying, umundu umundu babandu. I've always had a soft spot for children, and I always take it upon myself to take the lead, to take a child who I see is coming from a disadvantaged area or family under my wing, so I can groom them and help them have a better life, and basically just have life experiences that I had that they possibly won't get. Having an inquiring mind, it helped me through work processes and culture. My boss always used to ask me, why do I ask so many questions? But I always wanted to know why our business operates the way it does. What is it that we're doing, and what's the purpose of what we're doing? This has helped me apply for greater positions and be successful. Within my culture, I've never been one to just follow the sheep. I've always asked my great aunts and uncles, why do we sell umqombo at traditional ceremonies? So I could better understand who I am and what my culture is all about. Talents. I've been told in my workplace that I'm quite a quick thinker, of which I kind of think I am. Being in the field that I work in, it is required for you to be able to think on the fly. I also have quite a high sense of EQ. I'm able to read body language as well as tone of voice. And once again, in the field that I work in, understanding the tone of voice to handle the situation appropriately is very important. Another trait that I have is good communication. To me, I find that it's very important to over-communicate, to always get the full perspective to the next person. So, what are my strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats that I see within myself? One of my strengths is that I'm very persistent. When I want something, or I've determined myself to do something, I'm going to do it by all means necessary. One of my biggest weaknesses, which I'm really trying on, is timing. I tend to overthink the time that I have, and then I'm not actually able to do it in the time that I've set myself. One of the opportunities that I think that I could work on is feedback. We all know that truth is a hard pill to swallow. And sometimes when I get feedback, I do tend to be a little bit defensive. So that's something that I'm really trying to work on. One of my threats to myself is self-doubt. There are often times when I'm far more capable of doing greater things, I'm more capable of bigger challenges, yet I will doubt myself and I will be my biggest critic. My progress. So, in Beginner 2, we had a lesson about worldview. What is worldview? Well, worldview is a collection of attitudes, values, stories, and expectations about the world around us. And really, this lesson changed my life. It's helped me in many situations that I've been in, many trying times. I had a very unfavorable situation in my workplace, and with the ability of using worldview, I was able to align my attitude and my values so that it could be favorable for me, the outcome could be favorable for me. In saying that, worldview has also helped me with many other different situations in life that I've been able to remove myself out of the situation, or rather remove my emotions out of the situation, look at the situation holistically, derive different perspectives that other people in the situation are getting, and then come up with a solution that works for all parties. With worldview, it also ties in with motherhood. Once I became a mother, my perception of life and the world completely changed. This has helped me mature in many ways. It's helped me learn that it's okay to make sacrifices as well as put yourself last for the greater good. The last 6 months have been trying for all of us. As you can see, we're doing online presentations. So with COVID, what I decided to pay it forward is I decided to do homeschooling. There's a boy in our neighborhood who's going to grade 1, and academically, he isn't where he needs to be. His teachers have expressed the concerns to the parents, but unfortunately, they just are not able to help. What I decided to do during lockdown, I was still working night shift at my job. I decided to not sleep in the day. I would bring him over and I would create lessons that were appropriate academically for himself as well as my daughter. So, one of my biggest goals for the year. One of my biggest goals is graduating. I know, right? Obvious. Who doesn't want to? But for me, graduating means a lot more than most people. This is my second time trying to study, and I unfortunately wasn't able to do it in the recommended 3 years. So becoming a qualified Bachelor of Business Administration, majoring in finance alumni is one of my biggest goals for the next 6 months. How am I going to do this? Well, I plan on completing all my modules, which is just 2, by the end of June 2021. I really think I am able to attain this, as I'll only have 2 modules while working, so the load on myself won't be a lot. Like I said, I've given myself the deadline of June 2021, and best believe, I am going to graduate.